Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Lunch with Libert, the Realtor Edition. In a makeshift office today, we are at the Embassy Suites down here in East Peoria, Illinois. The Illinois Realtor Association is having their public policy meetings yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I'm down here representing the Chicago Association as well as being on the board at the Illinois level. So it's kind of busy down here, but there's some exciting things going on. And we'll have some updates for you later on that. But today, as is every Wednesday at noon Central, it's Lunch with Libert. On the first and third Wednesday of the month at noon, it's for realtors. So this is for industry professionals. And we are excited today to be discussing listings, how to get more leads out of your listings. So I've got some notes here, and hopefully you might have some questions as well. So we are going to be checking to see if there are some questions. I have no staff to help me today, so this is literally a one-on-one, you and me. So if I miss a question or two, I will definitely answer afterwards. So what we're discussing today for about 10 to 15 minutes is listings. Why do you want to get more leads on your listings? Well, that should be obvious. You want to close more transactions. But in the first place, buyers are great. We absolutely love buyers, but listings can potentially turn into 3 to 4 transactions. And how that happens is, number one, you're trying to get the best price for your seller in the least amount of time. And at the same time, you're getting calls, hopefully, if you've done your marketing right, which is what we're going to talk about today, our top 10 steps to get more leads. If you've done your marketing right, you're going to be able to potentially get people that like the property from the outside or from the pictures or from the description, but it's either out of their price range, it actually isn't what they want, and you can convert those people elsewhere. So you're going to sell your listing, but you're also going to potentially turn around and convert these buyers into other properties. So it could be huge if you're marketing your listings right. A lot of realtors are actually a little scared by listings, but you should be always trying to get more listings because the opportunity is huge. And also you want to do the best job possible for your seller. If you're not using these 10 steps, you are also not doing the best possible job for your seller, in my opinion, and the opinion of many other people in the industry. So here's what we know. Here's what we found out through research and what we're doing at Exit Strategy, and hopefully a lot of you are other brokerages that are listening. Number one, Zillow. Let's discuss Zillow for a second. So Zillow is by far the most popular portal in terms of traffic. Whether we like it or not, Zillow is king in terms of traffic from consumers. So we know buyers are looking on Zillow. What affects these buyers in terms of when are they going to see your listing? Well, first off, before we even get into that, let's discuss how Zillow sends you leads. So Zillow, you have yourself as the listing agent, so you are listed. But Zillow has 3 other people listed in almost every case. Zillow has 3 other people listed. They're called premier agents. They have paid to be in that space. So when a consumer looks at your listing, they see you, but they also see 3 other people, and they pick from the 4 of you. So what a lot of agents miss, they say, I don't use Zillow. I don't want to be around Zillow. I don't pay for Zillow. Okay, that's your choice. I do not have an opinion one way or the other whether you pay for Zillow leads or not. But what I do have an opinion on is if you are the listing agent and you don't have your profile picture, you don't have your correct information, if you don't have your past sales, the correct number of past sales, and you don't have reviews on Zillow, you are missing out on the leads because guess what? Again, the consumer sees 4 people, you as the listing agent and 3 other people. Those are the premier agents that have paid to be in the space. The consumer picks from the 4 of you. Who do you think they're going to pick? If you have no reviews, if your past sales don't show up, and by the way, Zillow does not a lot of times have the accurate information. You have to go back in and get that information to them. If your Zillow profile isn't looking great as a listing agent, they're going to choose someone else, one of those other 3 people, because the consumer doesn't know the difference in a lot of times. In a lot of cases, they can't see the difference between you and the other agents except that, wow, Susie has 47 reviews and Susie has 57 past sales. And there you are as the listing agent with none of either or just a few. They're not going to pick you. And probably as a consumer, they have every right not to pick you. So you have to understand how Zillow works. So that's rule number 1. You've got to get good reviews. You've got to get your reviews up on Zillow, and you've got to get your number of past sales accurate. Number 2, also on Zillow, we're going to stay on this for one more point. You have got to get mobile videos on Zillow. So mobile videos on Zillow. All you do is download the Premier Agent app. Now this is free. I don't work for Zillow. I potentially really don't have, again, any positive or negative for Zillow. There's some things that you can do with Zillow that you have to pay for, but the Premier Agent app is free. And what that does is that if you download that, you can then upload a mobile video. I don't think they particularly look great, but Zillow wants you to use that app, whether you're paying for leads or not. So you go in there and you do a mobile video of your property. You can only do it from your cell phone. You can't really edit it. So it's a very raw video. But Zillow then pushes that content, pushes your property to the top of the search. So if you don't have mobile videos up, you have got to get mobile videos up in order to get your search higher. Also, actually, I do have one more point on that. My third point on Zillow, so out of our 10, we're going to focus 3 of them on Zillow because that's where the traffic is. My third point is, again, on Zillow, open houses. Now, I don't want to have a whole discussion on open houses today. That will be another Lunch with Libert topic. But open houses, they push to the top. Again, they push your property to the top of the search within Zillow. So if there's 800 properties that match a pretty general search criteria in a big city like Chicago, like where I'm at, you want to be as close to the top as possible. If you don't have that mobile video, and if you don't have an open house scheduled soon, and that means in the MLS, and you want to make sure that that also has then correctly gotten through Zillow, because there's always the potential there's a disconnect there. If it's not in Zillow, as an open house, it won't push up towards the top. So do some frequent open houses. That's going to help your Zillow traffic as well. Let's go to item number 4. On Realtor.com, so we've moved on from Zillow. Now here's the other behemoth, the 2 main traffic sources. Zillow's just by far number 1, and they own Trulia. So if you're asking about Trulia, Zillow and Trulia in our package is 1 because they own Trulia. The other big, elephant in the room traffic-wise is going to be Realtor.com. That's the other place where the consumers play. They've got Elizabeth Banks for how many millions of dollars and Super Bowl commercials. They have such huge consumer presence. You've got to make sure your listing looks good there. Now, Zillow does it one way. Realtor.com does it a whole different way. How Realtor.com does it is that they make you or your brokerage, so you as the individual agent or your brokerage, need to pay in order to be the person to get the lead. So in other words, if you don't pay, we don't know where that lead is potentially going. It's probably going to someone that's paid for leads in that zip code. And it's kind of a blind process. There isn't, unlike Zillow, where the consumer picks from 3 agents, on Realtor.com, the consumer fills out a form and it goes to somebody. They don't have that choice. So if you're a newer agent, actually sometimes it's easier to get your listings leads directly to you because you do have to pay for them. I found for Exit Strategy Realty, it was such a hard process for the individual agents to decide and what package do they get. I just bought it for our whole office, so every single one of our agents, your listings, your leads on Realtor.com. That package is not available for Zillow, but on Realtor.com, the broker can decide, the brokerage owner, and I've decided that for our agents. So have that conversation with your broker, or if you're an individual agent and your broker's not feeling that, you've got to go out and pay for that. But I'd strongly recommend you do. Otherwise, most likely those leads on your own listings are going to someone else at another brokerage who has no affiliation with you. All right, next up, item 5. Regarding any leads, and I can't believe I'm going to have to put this in here, but I do. Any leads, instant response is key. So item 5, instant response is key. What we're finding, and I've tested this with our brokerage, with other brokerages, there are agents that don't get back on 75% of their leads. They don't get back with you at all. Or they get back with you days later, hours later, but days later. So, of course, the consumer looking around on these different websites, they see hundreds of agents. So they're like, well, you know what? Nick didn't respond to me. I'm going to go to Susie. I don't know who Susie is, but I keep using her as the example. So because I didn't get back to them in a timely manner, they'll go click on Susie. Well, Susie, that's not her listing, but now she's got the lead. You've lost a lead to Susie. So you have to be very, very quick with responses. I've been asked what I feel is appropriate time. I feel 15 minutes. However, I'm also realistic. I understand that as an agent, you're driving around. I don't want you texting and driving and in a dangerous situation. You do have to have some family time. 15 minutes isn't always the most possible thing. So look for a technology like Follow Up Boss, which is expensive, but it's amazing if you can afford it. What I did for our agents was I did 5 Street. So every single one of our agents has 5 Street. If they have hooked it up and understand it, they have it for free. That what 5 Street and some of these other lead receiving, these lead response systems do is that the minute the lead comes in on a listing, instantly there's an email and there's a text. And the texting is huge. because the email, you know what, that's so auto-generated at this point. But a text, if it's worded right, if it's done by these lead response systems, that provides a instant communication with the potential buyer, and they're actually now in dialogue with you. So that is huge. So we looked into 5 Street. That's what I do for our agents. See what your brokerage has for you. Otherwise, you're individually, as an agent, you need to either get a lead response system or have a team member or somebody sitting by that phone, that group phone. So, and also regarding that, signage. Let's talk about the next thing, item 6, signage. I see a lot of times cell phone numbers not on signs. People say, I don't want them calling me directly. So they put the office line or a landline. Well, here's the danger with that. At this point, if you're doing an office line or a landline, people are probably texting that number and thinking that, oh, wait, well, this agent never got back to me. So have your cell phone number, or if you don't want your cell phone number, a Google Voice number that goes to you or your team on your signage. Now, you want to check depending on the state you're in. Again, I'm down here at the state board meetings. We were just talking about teams and signage and things like that. This is what my signs look like. I have my Google Voice number. I'm not sure if you can see this. My Google Voice number, which they can text or they can call, and that instantly goes to me. And then also, I have a text number. So here's what we know also. And so this goes into item 7. A website's great. QR codes are dead. Do not have a QR code on your sign, please. Those are dead at this point. A website's nice. The consumer can get information because they're trying to avoid this number. So don't put an office line on, because we definitely do not want the consumer calling the agent on floor time or opportunity time or whatever they call it at your office. We've taken that away at our office. We don't believe in that anymore. We want the leads to go directly to the agent, the listing agent. But even your cell phone number, they may avoid. So the consumer will try to go to either a website, but you can't track the leads on website unless you want to try to have them fill out a form. They don't want to fill out a form. So what we've found is most popular is that if you text, and you have a text code that the consumer can do, the consumer gets all the information. So if you do this, so ours is for full details, text exit to 85377. It gives them, it's a geolocational technology, whatever your technology is. Then the consumer gets the information they want with it. They don't have to call you, but guess what? You get the lead capture. You've captured the lead. You've captured their cell phone numbers. Where are they texting you from? Their cell phone number. So think smarter on your signs. Be strategic about it, okay? So that's item 7. Item 8, and we're going to go probably a little bit closer to 20 minutes today. Item 8, using social media to promote your listings. Wow, I can't believe when I go out there and I see an agent and I look them up online and I see their LinkedIn profile or lack of a profile and there's no conversation about their listings. Well, why not? Why not on Facebook and Instagram? Why aren't you talking about your listings? So please use social media to talk about your listings. If you are not using video yet, we just put in a green screen room in our office because we feel so strongly about the power of video, things like this, like we're talking right now online. Video is just so much more engaging than photos alone. Use video, use it on your smartphone. Almost everything you see from me comes on my smartphone. So I'm not out there spending thousands of dollars on camera and equipment. Clearly, I do not have a staff that helps with a lot of this. So get that video out there. And then also boosting your posts. So a lot of us are getting better about having a large social network, but my network of people is X number of thousand, but I can guarantee you I don't know everybody in any neighborhood by any means, but I can boost to every single person on social media, or a vastly larger percentage of them that I have personally connected with. Again, boosting your Facebook and Instagram posts goes beyond your natural social media network into the larger demographic in a geographic area. So we can talk about that for days on, and that's not what this class is about. But again, item 8, utilizing social media, video, and boosting. Item 9, one of my favorite old school tricks. When your listing sells after it goes solidly under contract, so probably after the appraisal, wherever at the time you've got it clear to close, I use a just sold card, or just sold sign. So these just sold signs, again, they've got your information, they have your text information or your website. Again, I'm still talking about text because I want to capture as much information as possible, and a little active listing. Okay, if you want to, this one's gone, but we've got others, and you know what? You can sell with me too. So that's item 9, just sold signs, switching out your signage. Last tip, after the sale, a just sold postcard. Boy, this is old school stuff. I've been doing this for 19 years. I got out of it for a while when the market crashed and I couldn't afford postage stamps for a while. But now the market's back, and even, for those of you guys that are newer, put the money in direct mail pieces, a just sold card announcing to the neighbors, hey, welcome your new neighbor. If you're at our office, you've got a graphic designer on staff that can help you customize that message. Anybody with a good CRM product, ours at our office pulls the nearest tenth of a mile, 200 or 300, however many people you want to mail it to, and it shoots out the postcard. You're not sitting there licking stamps and handwriting addresses like we did back in the day. So use that technology. That's item 10. I'm going to see here real quick, scroll if there's any questions. I'm probably just going to have to go offline though because we are actually out of time. So that is our week. Let me know if you have any other questions. Shoot them in the comments. This will be on YouTube by the end of the week. This will be repurposed into a LinkedIn blog next week. So get on my YouTube and LinkedIn if you'd like some help. Last thing, I have a property, 301 Center. This is my property of the week, 301 Center in Dowagiac, Michigan. I'm going to be there Sunday afternoon. Please come join me. You'll see a little bit more about that on my Friday night boost out to the community. So again, I'm licensed in 3 states, doing a lot of interesting things with that. And so are some of our agents. They're getting multi-state licenses and really honing in on some amazing properties. So stay in touch. Keep tuned to next week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks so much.